we're going to be making butter toffee. So you're going to start by buttering a very large sheet pan, something that has a decent amount of edge on the side. You want to make sure you heavy butter this sides and bottom. Set this aside so it's good and ready. Then you're going to want to get a heavy saucepan ready with a thermometer. We're going to need 4 sticks of butter in there, but before we do that, we got to get our chocolate ready. We're using almond bark. We're going to be using half of this 1.5 pound package, so we're going to be using 12 ounces of chocolate. You can also use chocolate chips. That also works really well. Almond bark is usually a tad more affordable. We're doing this recipe the cheapest way we can so that we can make lots of it. We made some last night and then we decided to eat it all. So we didn't have enough left to give to our family members for our cookie baskets. We got to make more. Okay, so if you're using almond bark instead of chocolate chips, don't do what I do and do it on the countertop. That's not smart. You just want to take your knife and just shred it into little pieces. Thin pieces. The thinner the pieces you do, the easier it is to cut it too. We're just shaving it. So we have our 12 ounces of chocolate, shaved chocolate ready to go. It's a mess, but you know, that's what we got. That's what we're doing. So after you get that chocolate ready, we're going to start by melting our butter over low heat. Turn that on to low. We're using margarine today. The cost of margarine was $1.38. This was $3.48. The cost of our sugar is 78 cents, which is pathetic, and that's buying it in a 10-pound bag. Instant coffee is going to be less than 20 cents. So altogether, this recipe is going to cost us exactly $4. This is a double batch. This is as cheap as you can get for this much candy, because this makes a lot of candy. Actually, let's do it by the pounds while we're here. We got 1 pound of sugar, 1 pound of butter, and almost 1 pound of chocolate. That's 3 pounds of candy this is going to make. Okay, we're just going to melt that butter in there. We're going to add in a little bit of instant coffee. This really helps bring out that dark, rich flavor. And we love coffee and everything. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of instant coffee. And this is optional. But the best kind to get is the kind that comes from the dollar store. This has the best chocolatey, nutty flavor to it. And then we're going to add in our 2 cups of sugar. And then you're going to want a wood spoon. Not that wood spoon. You don't want to use one of those plastic stirring spoons. We did that last year and melted part of the spoon into our toffee. I just want to make sure this is all dissolved together really well. Okay, and then we're also going to be adding in 6 tablespoons of black coffee. And you can also add water if you don't want to do the coffee flavor. So 6 tablespoons of this morning's coffee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coffee or water. And then just turn this up to a high. Get these combined. And then as soon as it's all combined together, we're just going to stop stirring and we're going to leave it alone. Look at that deep, dark, rich chocolate looking color we got already. Anyway, don't let the kids in the kitchen while you're making candy. It's dangerous. Once that's combined, just kind of scrape down little bits of the sugar on the side so they don't burn. And don't worry, this actually washes off really easy after it sets. Just use that cup that you used for sugar to keep your utensils in. Don't take that away. You're going to need it to put your thermometer in when this is ready. Okay, we're just going to leave this on high until it comes to a really good boil. You just want to turn it down to a medium high after it comes to a really good boil. Then you don't get that little bits of burnt. And we're just going to let this come to a really good boil. We're going to go all the way up to 270. Don't be tempted to stir it. We're just going to leave it right there on high for now. Right about the 210, 220 mark, it'll just get stuck there. And it'll seem like it's never going to increase in temperature. But as soon as it starts climbing above that, it climbs pretty fast. So we'll see you here in about 5 minutes when it starts going over the 220. Okay, right about now, it's starting to get pretty dark, so just keep an eye on it. We may have to start to turn it down just a tiny, tiny bit. It's just stuck right there. You can tell how the bubbles are starting to stick to the sidewall of the saucepan, that it's just about there where it's going to start going up. Here she comes. You can tell just by looking at how the sugar starts to change. Up. 220. Okay, now she's going to go up pretty quickly. Here she comes. 229. 230. We're finally in the convection zone. Oh, I just blew on it when I talked. Cooled it down a degree.
What is that delicious smell?
That is more candy. Almost at 250. Only 20 more degrees. We're almost there. All of a sudden you start smelling little tiny burnt pieces. That's how you know it's getting ready. It's going to go through the change. Not the actual change. It's going to change from soft to hard. Not the actual change. Oh, yeah. And it's just starting to destroy the sides of the pan. Just kidding. It just looks that way. It comes right out after you soak it for a few seconds. It literally just rinses right out. But you don't want to rinse your pan until it's cooled down a little bit. Especially if you're using cast iron for this. Ooh, that'll break your cast iron. We're at 270. See how quick that happened? Now, turn it off. Get yourself an oven mitt, because you do not want to try to grab that candy thermometer with your bare hands. Put that into that cup that you have setting right there aside. Very as well use this oven mitt right here. Now, if you have a pour spout on your pan, that's going to really help you out here. We're just going to run this down the center, trying to make sure that we got equal amounts on both sides. Then just let it do its thing. Don't try to smooth it out or touch it. Very, very hot. Whew. Very hot. Wait. No. You can't help with this stuff, babe. It'll really hurt you. Yes. Okay. All right, and now that that's kind of done boiling and we got that nice shiny consistency, we're going to spread the chocolate.
like chocolate.
I know you do.
No.
Okay, we're just gonna carefully like spread this all around, get it nice and as even as we can.
Hey, it's jumping at the other thing again.
Okay, now I'm just gonna pick this up.
Dust it up.
That's for the second batch we're gonna make. We're gonna make 2 batches. And there we go. Make sure you get those edges. Don't neglect the edges. There we go. Okay, and we're just going to wait until that gets really good and softened. Okay, then you're just going to super duper carefully, I'm doing these bigger ones first. Just very carefully and very slow. You just want to go nice and slow. Melting chocolate works so good for this because it melts so much quicker. And it also won't leave your fingers greasy when you're eating it out of the bag afterwards. Damn it. How in the heck do we still have a little fly in here? It's getting cold as hell out there. Okay, we're going to smooth it down. Try to get all the wrinkles. Well, not all of them. You want a couple of ripples in there just to make it look like it's not something that you bought at the store. Make it look homemade. Okay, after this cools, so we can remove it from the sheet, and the chocolate hardens, of course. You want to wait to make sure your chocolate's set really well. You can put it in the fridge or in a cold room, which is what we're going to do, is set it in the cold attached garage until this sets up, which should be about 30 minutes. See you in 30 minutes. Okay, and then after 30 minutes, you can put this in your refrigerator for 30 minutes. Just don't set this down on your glass shelving inside of your refrigerator because it'll break it. So after this is cooled, all the way cooled, you're just going to want to take a sharp spatula or even a knife or even a fork. Just pop the edge. Just like that. Nice and careful. And then we're going to tip it over because you got all that moisture stuck under there. Ooh, yeah. See how shiny the sheet is? Okay. And we're going to turn it over. Chocolate side down. We're going to let that dry. But since we're in a hurry to make the video, we're going to be using this sharp knife here. And we're just going to cut this into some sections. Oh, it's so cold from being in the fridge. Just like that.
That's some good candy.
Yeah, it's ready. You want to try a piece?
Yeah.
Okay, don't break your teeth.
I'll try not to.
There you go. Show you what that looks like from the inside. Yum, right? Perfect. Okay, we'll see you guys next time.